This is like the most cursed coffee chat ever. My goodness. Only you, A, would cause this much trouble. All right, here we go. Welcome everybody to another coffee chat. And today we are joined by my friend A Pikul in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Sorry for starting late, but my computer decided to completely update itself and reboot itself in the middle of our Zoom as we started. So thank you everybody for your patience this evening. We started later than normal. Anyway, hey A, how you doing?
สวัสดีค่ะ from
สวัสดีค่ะ
Thailand.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Yes, I am doing okay. Oh, actually, I have to say I am doing very well.
Are you now? Now tell me about that. What's going on? Why are you doing very well?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's actually like to be okay, to be not okay, or to be well is on our attitude, right? And if we always think we're not okay, we feel like we're not okay. But I just like feel like I am okay every day. Like okay, I wake up in the morning, I have soft bed, and I have a coffee to drink. So this is still awesome life actually.
You see, this is why I love working with you and I love being in Thailand is that it's just like the land of everything's okay. Like I feel like every
Yeah.
time that I'm with you, you're like, don't worry about it. Oh, the plane is on fire, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
But if I the other way around, if I think about I'm not okay, I could not be okay too. If I wake up and it's so sad, I have no job, I have nothing to do. I have no money, I have no income. It can turn to be not okay too, right? But it
Yeah.
depends on which direction I will looking for. If I feel like oh I still happy, look at I still have cappuccino. Mm. I still can chat with my friend from halfway of the world, the other side of the world. So
It's true.
what else do I need?
You're always
Yeah.
so wise. Like anytime that I have a problem, you always know exactly the right thing to say. So next time I'm feeling bummed out, I'm just going to be like, hey, come on, man, make me feel better.
You have you not done it yet?
Oh yeah, I have done it. You know I've done that yet. I've called you and had you make me tell me everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, you have done that before. So
Yeah.
many times. Anyway, so for those of you watching, this is my friend A Pikul from Chiang Mai, Thailand. We have worked together for a number of years doing Thailand tours together. So she is a guide for Intrepid Travel, and we work with them on our Thailand tour. We just did one this past year. And that was interesting. We can talk a little bit about that, doing a tour in the time of a pandemic. But we are going to do this again. So if you want to travel with the two of us, I don't know if that's something people think looks attractive because we're pretty crazy. We like to have a lot of fun. We are going to be doing the tour again in this coming year, so a year from now in January. So
Yes.
and you guys,
2022. Actually, from now to then, I still have only one tour booking. It's Sarah tour.
I'm the only travel company that has booked a tour with you in Thailand because I'm the only one crazy enough to actually try to put
Yeah, from now to then, I still available, everyone.
yeah. Well, you know what? I have faith. I feel like in January next year, I feel like it's going to be possible, and I can't wait to be the first tour group back because was I the last tour? I wasn't the last tour with you last year. You had one after me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Yes, and then you fly to Egypt and I fly to Laos, right?
yeah,
And we do the tour.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
everything
we did
went.
the tour.
Yeah, and then everything went terribly after that.
Yeah, and we
Everything
just
fell apart.
chat like what happened over there, what happened over
I
here.
know, yeah, we were texting each other like, "Oh my goodness, are you still traveling? Oh my goodness, I don't know if we should be doing this." Yeah, that was something we will always remember for sure. So,
Yeah.
Um, so the other thing that we're going to do, just so you guys know, is that A and I are always plotting because we're always thinking about new and cool, fun things. So what we are
Yeah.
also plotting about, and we won't talk about today, but we will talk about in a couple of weeks, is that we have decided to not do just Thailand, but next year we're going to be doing a tour that also has a Laos.
Read, mention me in in the
Yes, I
comment.
see
I
you.
can't read it,
Yes, and your hair
so
does
I
look
can't
really
reply. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. As always, read.
pretty. So anyway, A and I are going to be doing lots of things together, and she's really funny and fun. So she's going to be with us all week. She's going to be doing cooking with us tomorrow, and we're going to do pineapple red curry and a banana cream, and then she's going to do a tour for us, a virtual live tour on Thursday. And so, but it's morning for you now. So for me in Seattle, it's 6:30. But for you, what time is it?
9:30.
9:30 in the morning. Yeah. So we're,
Yeah.
but you're tomorrow. You're in Tuesday. You're on March 2nd, and
Yes.
I am still on
Yeah.
March 1st. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I always see you doing is I always see you drinking a lot of coffee. So can you tell us a little bit about like coffee culture in Thailand?
Thailand is more coffee than tea. Actually, like we grow a lot of tea on the mountain too, like Chinese tea, and we have a lot of like Chinese culture of eating like more food. But our country, we prefer to go out for the coffee. We can call Chiang Mai is Melbourne in Asia. Like because we very similar. We have a very good coffee everywhere, and like the coffee here is so nice because we grow a lot of coffee beans in northern part of Thailand and everywhere. So just recently I've been drove to the coffee farm area. It's very beautiful and they have the resort over there and like you can sit and chill and have a coffee. Like we when on one street we can make a stop about 10 coffee shop like that. You will be so high, and in the night you don't have to sleep at all like that. And we have so many cafe, like the coffee shop in Chiang Mai, and all very nice decoration and quiet. Some of them have a very nice garden. Um, from the beginning, actually, I sit down under the big tree outside, and I thought like you cannot hear me properly, so why I moving inside the room. And here I pay for my coffee, like nice cappuccino. And some place they have even like latte art and cappuccino art on the top, but here is a little bit basic, but I can't complain because it's like 50 baht, 1.5 US. And with a very nice private room. I will turn my phone around, and it's very cute small cafe. That nice decoration. You can see outside the window. They have beautiful trees, and over there they have also like open air area, like the people can sit down. And behind over there, I used to sit over there. You see, like
Yeah.
on the big tree, under the big tree. So and they charge for 1.5 US dollar for a nice cappuccino. So I can't complain even they don't have the latte art on my coffee.
I see. I like to get instead of a regular latte. I always get the Thai iced coffee because I just love that. It's so good. It's got the
You
condensed milk.
indicate condensed milk because Thai iced coffee is a little bit dangerous for the people who control amount of sugar each day because we always like put condensed milk and like creamy milk and everything. So why it's so delicious.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so good. And
it's
that
not healthy. It's
no.
not healthy for your body, but it's healthy for your heart. So you need it sometimes.
The way I figure it, I can have a Thai iced coffee with the condensed milk when I'm there because I'm otherwise eating very, very healthy. Like there's not a lot of like cookies and junk food unless we go to the Seven
Yeah,
Eleven. Then we get to see all the junk food there.
yeah. But life needs to be equal. If you talk with them, like if you talk with them and you make them unhappy. You not enjoy everything, you not enjoy your life. And of course, if you destroy them, if you have junk food every day, if you have sugar every day, it's not good for your body. And yeah, but sometimes you need a piece of cookie just to make a life and just to enjoy the taste of nice cookie and cake and something. But you just need to make balance. That is one of the Buddhist teaching. Life is about balancing, not too much, not too little, right?
Yep.
Sarah?
That is, yeah. And that's why I always like being in Thailand because every time I spend time there, I always leave feeling kind of calm and I always lose a few pounds and I always just feel very
Mm-hmm.
happy. And of course, having your sparkly good energy around me always leaves me feeling
Yeah.
happy and easygoing. So they call Thailand the land of 1,000 smiles, and I think it's pretty true. But where does that phrase come from?
Well, I just don't know because Thai people in the past we are a little bit like shy. Not me, okay? Like compared to normal Thai person, they have very calm and very shiny person. Like when they walk past to any person, they will just smile instead of say hello and everything. Like when you do something for them and they don't know how to say thank you, they just smile back to you like that. So smile is the way of greeting, is the way of welcome. Instead of say hello but you make slumpy face, that is not very welcoming. Instead of say hello, we just smile when you walk past to me, we just smile instead of say anything like that. It's better and it's very our character of Thai people. Doesn't matter we can speak to you or not, we just smile to show that we are friendly. Yeah. And sometimes I think people from Western culture, they thought we are crazy and we are um, like, we love to observe people and smile to them. And they probably thought like we are too much smile or crazy person like that.
Maybe you, but I'm not sure about everyone.
Because when I traveling around, I still like smile on the people, and the people, why you look at me like that? Why you look at me? Why you smile at me? I said, I just want to be friendly. What's wrong with you too?
But I think it's true. I
Yeah,
mean, really, everywhere that I've ever gone in Thailand, I feel like people, I mean, I am clearly a foreigner, but people have always
yeah,
been so friendly. I just think it's one of the most friendly cultures that I've encountered. Just very welcoming, right?
yeah.
So, how's
Mostly, I can say 95% of Thai people are friendly.
95%? Okay.
Yeah.
So, how's everything in Thailand now without tourists? Because I know that that's a huge part of the economy of Thailand. So, has it made a big impact?
Yes, it's sad. Like the other night when I've been to night market and I
Yeah.
took a video, like in front of the hotel that we stay, it's normally very packed, right? And one of the market that they have Ladyboy show over there, it's no Ladyboy show. It's no even like Thai tourists much in the Chinese New Year. Normally Chinese New Year, oh my gosh, we can't find a hotel to stay in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
But this year, like when I took a video and sent it to you, oh my gosh, I almost cry. Like to tell me the truth, like to tell you the truth, not to tell me, to tell you the truth. Like that night, my heart was so shake, and like I have no word to say it, and yeah,
Yeah, I saw
yeah,
A sent me a video of the night market area, and normally the night market area is wall to wall vendors, tourists. The Ladyboy Show, which is a drag show, is so popular. We always take people there that want to go, and it's a really good time, really fun, and it's just bonkers. Like it's always crazy down in the center of Chiang Mai, and yeah, there's nothing there. Like there's no stalls, there's no people, there's nothing. So it's so strange. And are the hotels all closed down or are some still open?
yeah, like a big hotel. Most of the big hotel in the tourist center was shut because they could not handle the surrounding of the payments and everything, like the maintenance. it's better that to close than open. But we still have a lot of accommodation that when some Thai tourists come, they have a small guest house and a lot of small hotel that's still open. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there are.
Oh, the hotel in Bangkok that we used to stay near Khao San Road, they already open, but
Oh,
they
okay.
have only one reception work each time.
Oh, wow. Okay. I
Yeah,
love that
but
hotel.
it's good news that they open.
It is. That's
But
really good.
the price normally we say there the price is around $150, right? Yeah, but now I think they charge about $50 per night. Would you like to come for a month?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely would like to do that. So actually, you and I
Yeah.
have talked about that recently because, my our fantasy is that I come over and just stay in Thailand, and then the two of us do yoga and
Okay.
meditation and do just
You can come for a month. I will write a plan for you.
okay.
So first of all, we will just gonna go to the meditation retreat for maybe 5 days or less than a week or whatever, 3 days, and then we are going to do like a yoga practicing, like the yoga retreat, eat like good meal, clean food or whatever we call, and in the uh, and after that, we will spend like 1 week on the beach for the cocktail.
I like that. Yes. Our little
Yeah.
tradition is as soon as we get to the beach with our groups, A and I go sit on the beach with a pina colada. So you got to have my pina
Yes.
colada waiting for me. But you were telling me
Yeah.
that it actually is possible for people to come now if they don't mind quarantining, right?
Yes. Well, actually, at Thailand, we already let the people in if they have enough time. Like you can come and you can quarantine for 14 days, where our government said like you stay here and you report, and they will send like the people to check up for you every day. Like and after 14 days, like you can traveling around like that.
Okay.
But it
Well,
means you have to come for like at least a month to traveling.
yeah, and
Yeah.
staying in a hotel room for 2 weeks when you're in Thailand seems kind of boring, but
And it's also like the government is the government hotel too, you know. And
oh
you
no.
can't go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll wait till maybe they lower that. If it was like 3 or 4 days, I think I might I that would be tempting to me, but 2 weeks maybe not.
I think pretty soon we should have like the tourists that already have vaccine.
Yeah.
You know, like because some of the country you already start to have vaccine, and I'm pretty sure very soon that our government will open for the people who already have vaccine in Thailand. And I just talked to my friend yesterday. She had a friend that work in the hotel or like the hotel owner, and Thai government already offered them to have a vaccine if they want to open the business like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
and probably I am going to have a vaccine soon too. Yeah, like
Really? So it's
myself.
available even for you.
I don't know. I still on the process of asking them because they are a person that asked me like you want to have vaccine because you are also like work in the tourist industry like that.
Hmm.
I
Well,
wasn't sure because now we still pretty scared about having vaccine too because we wasn't sure how it affects to our body. But I know like in America, it you start to have a vaccine already, right?
yeah, and actually, I just saw a notice from somebody that I know that they're taking people in certain parts of the state who are 50 and older. So they're getting closer. I'm not
Yeah,
50, so I'm not quite there yet, but I can't
yeah.
wait until I'm get my vaccine because as soon as I do, I'm out of here. I'm going come to see you, or maybe I'm going to Italy. I'm not sure, but I am so out of here as soon as I can.
That is the reason that why they don't give vaccine to you because you're gonna leave the country.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be on a plane, man. But that's good though, because I mean
Yeah,
that for me that gives me confidence and it makes me feel more sure that like what we've planned for next year is pretty likely to go. So, oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, somebody else would like to come and talk to you. So, for those of you watching, I have to scoot
My
over
son.
because A's biggest number one fan would like to join us for our chat today.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
How have you been? It's been
Very
so long. It's been like a year.
a year. Yes, Luca, you're grown up now.
I've grown so much. Mostly this way out. You know how quarantine is.
I have heard you're gonna come to stay near me, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So,
Near Thai mom.
Yeah.
for those of you watching, my son Luca considers A to be his other mom. So I'm mom, but A is other mom because at this point, Luca spent a lot of time with her. He's been on the Thailand tour twice. So they have spent a lot of time together. So you met Luca when Luca was 12 or 13, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, shorter than you, but
Yeah.
now he's a lot taller than you.
Yes. Yeah. It's about what, 6'7"?
I'm
Yeah.
tall. For all you watching, I'm tall.
So go ahead and ask Ace some questions. I think maybe an interesting question to ask you is what was your favorite part about Thailand? Why do you like Thailand?
Well, I really like Thailand because I am a massive history nerd, and Thailand has one of the most interesting histories out of oh, most unknown and interesting histories out of most places in the world, or at least by Western standards. And there's like the history of like three kingdoms, 17 Burmese invasions, uh, the Malayans, the Chinese, it's crazy. It
See,
really
he
is.
listens to you. He doesn't listen to me, but he listens to you. So, A, when you're doing tours with people, what are your favorite sites to show people? Because I know you love doing a lot of the temples and the historical stuff. What's your favorite place to take people?
So, um, um, it I love different. I love every section that I show people actually. So I think like to be proud of my to present is like Thai culture. You know, like we have like very different culture, and we still keep the culture. It doesn't matter. You know, like we have a very contrast culture. Like you see, like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and a very countryside and a very modern part. But we still keep our culture and traditional. This one I'm more proud. But to be fun, of course, I love to take people to like to eat because we have a very good food and very good option like Thai cuisine, very one of the famous food in the world, right? So that's what I like because it's fun for me and I love eating different food. Even the people said I eat very little, but again, I eat little, but I don't like to eat one dish. I love to eat like 10 dishes, but a little bit small. It's fun for me to share with people. Like if three of you, five of you sit down together, we can order like about 10 dishes. But if I go by myself, I can eat only one or two and got a lot of food left, right? Like that. So to be fun and to be like relaxed, you know, like of course I would like to share also like the natural part of Thailand because as we know, Thailand is not only uh, cultural food, but we have a lot of natural beauty, right? Like we have beautiful beaches, the lake, and like the jungle and everything like that. National parks that we have a lot of that stuff too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's the thing that's really nice about Thailand is sort of the diversity. There's so much. I mean, you've got the city stuff, you've got the cultural stuff, you've got the religious stuff, and the natural beauty I think is really surprising because people think of Thailand as being beaches, but like where you
yeah,
live, it's mountains, right?
yeah, yeah. Like Buddhist talk is one of my favorite talk to people too. Yeah,
Yeah, to explain Buddhism. Yeah, because Buddhism is
I have
yeah.
a question. If you had one day, which what would you rather show people? Ayutthaya or Sukhothai?
Sukhothai.
How come? How come?
Actually, because I feel like Sukhothai is more serene and it's more like you uh, when we ride the bicycle around the historical park, it's so quiet and peaceful.
Mm.
Even the people said Sukhothai is a lot smaller city than Ayutthaya, of course, because Sukhothai is older and it's the first capital of Thailand. And the history and the scenery, I don't know, I feel more calm and peaceful. And I love the energy of Sukhothai. Yeah, it's not mean Ayutthaya is not beautiful. Ayutthaya is one of a very beautiful old capital city in the world. But because it's very close to Bangkok, it's a lot of tourists over there, and we can't ride the bike around Ayutthaya because we will melt on the way. It's so hot and the street is so busy. So I like the feeling of ride the bicycle around Sukhothai Historical Park more. Yeah.
I would agree with you
And the
about that.
energy.
Yeah, and the energy, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know what it is. There's something about Ayutthaya that I have really bad luck with. Like, things just never go right when I'm in Ayutthaya. Have you noticed that? Every time I go to Ayutthaya, I'm cursed. I go there and something bad happens every single time that I go there.
You have to clear that energy out next time when we come.
I know,
We
I'm gonna
gotta do
bring
something. Yeah, we gotta do something for you to release all of the bad uh, energy, bad attitude, bad experience of Ayutthaya out of you next time.
We need to do a
I'm
Buddhist
gonna bring my sage leaf.
That's what I was gonna say. I'll bring like the sage and like have it wafting around me because every time I go to Ayutthaya, yeah, something bad happens. So I prefer
Yeah,
Sukhothai because Sukhothai is always chill, like you said, and we do the nice picnic and
and the
riding the bikes
carpool.
is so fun. Riding the bikes around, I just think is really it's so peaceful. So I would
yeah.
agree with you that Sukhothai. And for those of you watching, the difference between these two, these were both capitals of the kingdoms of Siam in the past, one after the other. So Sukhothai is older, Ayutthaya is newer, and then Bangkok actually is fairly new. I mean, Bangkok only has started what in the 1700s.
240 years.
Wow.
240 years, yeah. So it's practically new in comparison to these other much older ones. Um, so you were talking about food, and I was reminded of all the meals we've had, especially with groups, where we look at the menu and we've got 10 different things on the menu. And I'm used to working in Europe where it's like that means 10 courses. So one plate at a time. They put a plate in front of you, you eat it, and then they take that away and they bring the next thing. But that's not how it works in Thailand.
No.
You know, when
Also,
you order,
and
it's
also like
an assault.
Thailand, we don't have the same culture like starter, like what do you call like a starter soup, main course, and dessert and tea and coffee. We have no idea what is that. Why you wanna eat this first? Why you wanna eat this last? We just put it there on the table. What you want to eat, you eat it like that.
The little bit of a downside though is that all the good bits is like it's a war over them. It's like okay, you got to get that one first, and then it's.
I always have a problem when I take the group and they order their own food, right? And they just like, I would like to have a spring roll and a satay chicken for a starter, and I want to have a fried rice for my main course, and I would like to have mango sticky rice for my dessert, like that, right? And then when we sit down, and then they just put fried rice first, and then they just put like sticky rice, and then put spring roll and satay chicken. And because we just have no idea why you want to eat this first, why you want to eat this last. The food is the food, right? And yeah,
There's
it's
no
just like
order.
I said, like, oh, yeah, I said like, okay, then you sit down. You don't have to order whatever you don't need it yet. You just like, okay, you order this, and after that, you order that, and you order something else. But now, like we learn a lot of Western culture. So when I go to the restaurant, I have to tell like, okay, bring spring roll first, not fried rice yet. And when they finish this, you bring fried rice, things like that. And the drink have to come first because sometimes we already have our food and the drink is not come yet, and this is Thailand. I think this is very charming, and also why the people want to traveling the world, because you can see it's different. We don't have to be so fixed, and we don't have to be like unsure about everything. We can be flexible. But because, like in the restaurant, they have only one or two person work there, which is we want to experience a real local food, right? So you sit down, you eat whatever you give it to you. When what a fresh cook, when they just finish one dish, you just put it down. If you don't want to eat it yet, you just save it in the side like that. I think that is very good way to learn what the local people there do too.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know.
the first group meal I ever had was on that boat cruise that we used to do, and we do the boat
Oh.
cruise, and we sat down, and it was like I don't remember how many dishes, but it was maybe more than 10 dishes, and they just
Yeah,
literally brought it all at once. It was a 2-hour cruise, and the food
yeah,
was already all on our table and pretty much done after about 15 minutes because people
Oh.
didn't
yeah,
understand. This is everything. Like if you want to pace your meal, you have to do that. That's not how Thai people eat, though. They eat everything all at once.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Thanksgiving
Like,
dinner.
I remember falling asleep
yeah,
on the table because I was so jet lagged on that cruise. I have a bad opinion of it, and I'm kind of glad that we got rid of it.
yeah. Our food culture is so different, and just like breakfast, for example, Luca, you used to have sticky rice and Chiang Mai sausage. That is could be my breakfast, and the people will thought like I'm crazy. Why I just eat rice and curry for breakfast? Of course, this is my culture. I was born this way. It's just like my mom cooked dinner, and it's got left from overnight, and we put it on the fridge, and the next morning I just warm it up and eat it as breakfast. So it's easy. Food is food. Doesn't matter whenever I eat it. It's food. If I eat it in the morning, it will be breakfast. If I eat in the afternoon, it will be lunch. If I eat it at dinner, it will be dinner, of course.
See, and that's what I always appreciate about you, A, is that you're just very flexible. You're just very like, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
I,
It's not fine for somebody. Yeah.
I have a question for you, A. What is the longest that you've ever spent in a Thai market? What's the longest you've ever spent in one?
A Thai market. A fresh market, if I buy ingredient to cooking, it's probably like 30 minutes. But if it's like a supermarket or a bigger market like Chiang Mai Central Market that they sell everything, it's probably an hour. Yeah,
But
yeah.
what about the ones in like the
Chata chang.
Chata Chak or
Chata
like
chak.
the
Chata
night
Oh
chak.
my gosh, that is doesn't count. That is not called like a normal market. That is called one of the biggest market in Asia.
Mm-mm.
And they sell everything. Is every section is bigger than like uh, I, I I could not explain. It's not bigger than the one in Hanoi or not? You think
Yeah,
the
Chata
old
chak in
quarter?
Bangkok is, I believe it's the largest market in Asia, actually.
Yeah, but because in the old quarter in Hanoi, they said that is one of the biggest in Asia. So I think like I walk in Chatuchak. I never finish it in one day though. I
Yeah, I think
just
one day
run off.
I spent 8 hours there once at Chata.
Oh, lucky that you still survive.
I was ready to go after about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, but yeah, I was there for 8 hours once.
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
year, the kids and I we went twice. I think we went twice. And Chautauqua's just fun. It's so much fun just to go and like browse and have lunch. And it's just so hot though. So that's the only thing you have to bring lots and lots of water. But you have
yeah.
lots of
Thing is
people.
so cheap too.
Yeah, you have lots of people who are saying hi to you, by the way, that are watching today. Chris and Mani, and
Hi,
actually,
Chris.
Reed just said Susie says hello. She's on the phone with Reed right now. So lots of
Okay.
people who've
Hello.
traveled with you saying hello to you today. So everybody loves
Okay.
A, man. If you travel with A, you can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you don't love me. I love you anyway.
Most of the people, yes.
It doesn't matter.
It
I
doesn't.
still your tour guide.
And actually, you won an award a few years ago, didn't you? You got like the best tour guide for your company, right?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
distinguished tour guiding award. So, and you've been doing this work for about the same amount as me, right? For like 20 years?
I've been a local tour guide in Thailand, only in Thailand, probably for 5 years. And I moved to Peak Adventure for this year is probably like 12, 12 years. So totally it's almost 20 years since I've been a tour guide. Yes.
So what are tour guides doing, now that we don't have, I mean, I know what we're doing. What are your colleagues doing in Thailand? Just everybody's kind of staying home. Have people tried to start new businesses or found other kinds of work? What are they doing?
A lot of people have like a new job, so they just like sell things, or they just like go to work in the farm and do something else. But for me, ah, one of my close friends, he is a English teacher, which is I have tried to be English teacher in my hometown too, but there is not a lot of kids over there where I live, and also like the students right now they spend too much time in school, like and on the weekend they are kind of like exhausted. So it's not very success for me. And me, I can be a yoga instructor, but again in Chiang Mai they have too many choice for yoga instructor, and I am just a freelance, so I'm not like specialist for yoga teacher. So I could not get a very good job for a yoga instructor. And recently, I just finished a barber course, which is I studied for three months, like to how to be a barber. But I'm not a good barber, to tell you the truth.
I was gonna say, great. Next time I come, instead of you taking me out to the hair salon like we did last time, this time you'll just do my hair for me. But you're
Of
not very good
course,
at it.
of course, if you want to have a very unique hairstyle, and I know like I can do a very good like a student, like the American army. I can
Oh,
do
that's
that.
good. Yeah.
Ooh, with no hair, a little bit of hair on top, which is I plan if I ever do the tour again in Laos. They have a lot of village, like a lot of village kids that they have no money to cut hair. So I'm going to cut hair for them over there for free, of course. And when I go hiking and I see the kids in the village, I will cut hair for them. So this is I still learn. And actually, right now I just took a class of like Swedish massage and Thai traditional massage. So Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock till 12, I study Swedish massage. And 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., I study Thai traditional massage. So I'm going to be a therapist as well.
Dang. All right. Well,
But
I'm happy to be your you can use me to like learn if you want.
yeah,
I'll just come over
I,
there.
I
I'll
wasn't
spend my
sure.
2 weeks in quarantine just laying on the bed and you can be like, I have to go and see her because I'm practicing my new
Like after 3 months, I can tell you later I gonna be a very good therapist or not, because I just finished the barber and I'm not a good barber.
Well, you are a very good tour guide, so at least you can always fall back on that once that starts up again. And actually,
Okay, at least something good.
yes. Well, you reminded me actually something that maybe people watching don't know. I think one of the great pleasures of being in Thailand is going for massages. And you and I usually go for at least a couple of massages, and it's so inexpensive. I mean, like the one that we've gone a couple times in Bangkok, and we've got the one that's like your legs and your shoulders, and that's what, like $5 or $6, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's
you
just
can have massage every day in Thailand.
although
Massage
there are
yeah.
limits, I will say there are limits because I remember at what was it 2 years ago we had massages every day on the island, and at the end of that, I was so bruised. I couldn't. I'm like, don't touch me. No more massages. Because it's not like kind of like, ooh, nice massage. It's more like, let me get all
Intense.
out of you kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's intense massage. No pain, no gain. That's what we call.
Yeah, so there is a limit. I can't do the real big kind of massage every day, but just like the foot massage is nice. That is enjoyable. You could potentially do that every day. So, oh, Luca would like to show you our cat.
Oh, kitty.
This is Isis. So, um, so when you are this week when you're joining me, we're going to do a few different things. So cooking, actually, is that something that you like doing? Cooking, is that one of your extra skills? So you're a masseuse and a barber and also a cook.
Like to cook, that is very basic thing that Thai women have to learn. Doesn't matter we love cooking or not, but we still have to be, if you want to be a good Thai woman, you have to know how to cleaning, you have to know how to cook. It doesn't look like I'm very good in anything like that, but I still need to learn it.
I think you don't. I think you don't let anybody know you know how to do that, so you don't have to do it.
Yeah,
Because
it's just like,
yeah, you have a lifestyle to maintain, and it does not involve those things, right? I feel the same way.
yeah,
I'm the same way. I am terrible at house cleaning, and I will never be good at house cleaning because I don't want to be good at house cleaning. That's a choice.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
We choose to be
Yeah,
good at
so
other things.
yeah, I still have to cook though. Yeah,
So I'm excited.
and like, oh, when I first like on the quarantine stage, I cook every day too. It's my like cooking therapy, because
Yeah.
I have nothing to do. I have to stay home, so I cook every day.
Well, but for you and I mean, this is the longest that I've ever been at home ever, in 20 years. So for us, I mean, cooking at home, for me, that's why I started doing the cucina quarantena thing, was that I don't typically get the time to cook a meal every single night of the week. Like, this is unusual for me to do that. And I assume for you too, right?
Yes, it's too long that I stay home. I stay on my own bed for almost 300 days already.
300 days.
Normally, like I will stay in my own bed about 5 or 3 days a month. And this time I stay on my own bed for 300 days in a year. Oh my gosh, that is too long. I get bored of my own bed.
Yeah, well, because you're either guiding, or if you're not guiding, then you're traveling, right? And you're exploring other
Yeah.
kinds of places. So, well, and speaking of exploring other kinds of places, one of the things that I always think of when I think of Thailand is if I compare it to other countries in Asia, I love Thailand the best. It's my favorite country. Well, Cambodia as well, I really love, but I particularly like Thailand because I think it's the Italy of Asia. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but I have to fight. We have to fight with Chinese people too, because the Chinese people, they thought like they are Italian in Asia too.
Oh, they think they're the Italians in Asia as well. Really? Why
Yeah,
is that?
I don't know, like because you have like like they are noisy and they use a lot of hand expression, and also they have food, like the noodles and spaghetti, things
Food
like that,
culture.
and
Yeah.
they thought they're very comparative to Italian.
I guess maybe Thailand is like southern Italy because it's a little bit
Yeah.
more chaos, but it's also kind of like relaxed. It's very, especially down
Hmm.
in the south, it's very relaxed,
Yeah.
I think. Kind of like
Yeah.
Hawaii or something like that. Kind of, I
I
know.
just want to go to Italy with you, like a special list of Italy.
Well,
Yeah.
you should,
Can't
and you
wait.
will. You will.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to get you out. Well, first you need to come and see us in Seattle, and then you need to come and go over to Italy with me and hang out in Italy. You will love it. I think it would remind you a lot of home in some ways, especially like Sicily, that the southern part. I think would. So, have
Yeah.
you been able to go down south just to the islands or anything, or are you just staying in Chiang Mai for now?
Actually, I can traveling around Thailand at the moment. Like I can go to beaches and everything. But the thing is, I have to save up too. Like I just could not spend a lot, as I could not have income. So I just stay in Chiang Mai or a short traveling, like somewhere that I can drive for 4 5 hours, like that, not to the south because I have to take flight and I have to stay in hotel too, like that. So it's better for me to save up because I still don't know how long until I can get the job back too. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the government doing anything for people for tourist guides? Are they providing anything?
Not really. It's just like like Thailand is still like developing country. So when the people have good income, they just have good income. And for the people who just have no uh, welfare or anything, they just don't have. And yeah, they don't help anything much. From the beginning of the COVID-19, they give me something like 5,000 baht per month for 3 months, which is altogether is about $500 for 3 months. That is it. That's what the government been paid for me, and I been jobless for a year already, like
So they give you they give you $500 total for the entire pandemic so far.
that. Yeah, yeah, it's still better
Wow.
than nothing.
Wow. Well, we got to get you out there and doing some more of those virtual tours because that's a good way to share
Yeah.
with us, but also to make a little bit of money. And that's the nice thing is that money goes a long way in Thailand. So, I mean, you can
Mm,
if when people visit, it doesn't cost a lot for hotels and food and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
well, and one other thing I wanted to talk to you about was that Thailand, I think people don't realize is different all throughout. So you're in the north, and how would you compare where you are to like the area where Bangkok is?
So Bangkok is the capital city, and it has to be like modern. You can see, um, and Bangkok itself have a lot of contrasting too. Like that, like when you go to slum or somewhere that undevelopment city, like when you walk through the huts and it's dirty, it's like not very well lifestyle of people that live near the canal or stinky, And the other way, they have like a very luxury hotel. They have a very luxury hospital. Like I can say, like we have one of the best hotel and hospital in the world. Like we can compare to like any country that we have very good medical in Thailand,
Yeah,
and we
actually went
have.
to the hospital in Bangkok on the last trip. We had somebody who needed to go and seek medical attention. That private hospital is more beautiful than any American hospital I've ever seen. I've never, it looked like a Hilton hotel. You walk in and it was like these huge like atriums and beautiful artwork and oh my gosh, that hotel in Bangkok is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's very contrast. Like when you walk down the street, you still can see a very poor people, but another way, it looks like a very different world, right? And so Bangkok, it's very contrast in itself that they have very poor people and very rich people, and the people who ride a very old car and have a lot of smoke in on the street. Like you can see a lot of car pollution in Bangkok.
Yeah.
But the other side, they have like a very luxury car, like sport or supercar, and a Mercedes Benz next to a very old car like that. So it's very contrast. And Chiang Mai is one of a very modern city of Thailand too, compared to anywhere else, not Bangkok. So Thailand is the second large city of Thailand, but we still have a lot of natural and traditional and culture. Like you will enjoy walking around Chiang Mai by yourself for a couple of days, not in Bangkok probably. So even like from our hotel walking to Grand Palace, which is like 25 minutes, but you would never want to walk from the hotel to Grand Palace, right? You will feel like, oh
I
my
get
gosh,
it.
I'm going to die.
It's a lot of traffic to cross. I did it the first time I was there, and it was it's just a
It's
traffic.
okay.
It's a traffic
Yeah.
walk. So when we have
Yeah,
the
but you not enjoyed it, right? Like you not enjoy the scenery because you will
yeah
be careful the car or the traffic. But in Chiang Mai, you probably walk a day and you feel like you still okay walking around. Even it's a lot of car, but it's not busy as Bangkok. So Chiang Mai is very good for long-term stay because everything is a lot cheaper than Bangkok, and the food and the quality of life. We can say like Chiang Mai probably have better life quality if you have same money, same amount of money. You can get better quality of everything in Chiang Mai.
And you have a
Yeah,
lot of foreigners
than
who live in
Bangkok.
Chiang Mai, right?
We have a lot of expats who live here too. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they not even go home yet. Oh, actually, like on the beginning of the year, I have worked for one of the expat family that live in Thailand too. They visit Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, so I've been guiding them. So I got one job.
Yay! Getting some work is great. Well, that's an interesting contrast that you make with Bangkok, because Bangkok is one of the cities that I love Bangkok, but it's really hard to wrap your mind around it because it's so big. I mean, it's big, but in a way that just doesn't. It's not easy to understand. I don't know.
It's
I
it's love. It's love and hate. You can't say you love Bangkok and you can't say you hate Bangkok too.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily love it, but I definitely don't hate it. I think it's a really interesting city, but it's sort of like in my mind like a patchwork quilt. Like there's not really one area that I would call like the center, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's the downtown.
Everywhere it looks center. Yeah.
What?
But well, you can say it like we are in the old town,
Yeah.
or you are in the modern part of Bangkok, like around Sukhumvit, around like Jim Thompson House over there.
Yeah.
That is the modern part and the business part of Bangkok. But the area where we stay is very close to Grand Palace. It's more the historical part and the old capital part of Bangkok. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just such a it's a strange city that way because there are these incredible contrasts between the old town, and the old town is just kind of, it has sort of a colonial sort of feel to it. And then you've got the Grand Palace, which is really amazing and weird and crazy and very colorful. And then you've got this
Yeah.
huge concrete modern part of town with the big skyscrapers and all of that. And that part of town, I almost don't even think about when I think about Bangkok because it's just, it could be anywhere. It could be
Yeah.
Chicago, it could be New York, it's just big skyscrapers everywhere. But yeah, it is a little bit of a, yeah, it's Bangkok. I don't know how else to say it. It's Bangkok.
Yeah,
Chiang Mai, on the
it's
other
just like,
hand, is a delight.
yeah, you can't say it like Bangkok is undeveloped city because it's very modern. It's one of a very modern city in the world. You can get everything out of Bangkok. We have like when you go to cinema in Bangkok, oh my gosh, it's so luxury. Like they have a luxury seat, they have honeymoon seat or whatever you're gonna call. Like it's so huge and it's so sci-fi. Like it's very good and it's very modern. Like when I traveling in some of the country that they said their own country is very modern, I said like, well, I think like I have seen something in Bangkok is a lot more modern than this, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we have a lot of things that very modern, but of course I can say we uh undevelopment, like we still have slum and we still have a lot of poor people, in the city too.
Yeah.
It depends on which part of Bangkok you have seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you've seen the movie Hangover 2 or whatever, Bangkok is look very ugly and you probably don't want to come to Bangkok.
I haven't seen that movie. I saw the first and the third one, but I never saw the one in Bangkok. We should watch that one. I miss Bangkok.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, even if Bangkok is completely bonkers, I actually I miss it because I especially love our neighborhood where we stay. It's just
Yeah.
such, I know all of the guys on that street, all the tailors, they all recognize me and wave when I walk by, we know the people who own the
Are
hotel.
you very popular over there, Zara? Everyone on that street know you. You come again. I remember you last year.
They do. They always remember us, which is fun. So I have my
Yeah,
my favorite restaurants
the
to go.
bell service, the reception, the restaurant, the teller,
Yeah, they all
everyone
remember
know
me. I'm
you.
6'2". I mean, it's kind of hard to not remember me. But yeah, I have but I think I do that in some cities. When I get really comfortable in a neighborhood, is like I have my place I go for my coffee. I have my place that I like to eat at for lunch. I have yeah, we love Jade's. I love going to certain shops, or if I'm getting stuff made, certain tailors. So yeah, it's good. It's nice to know everybody. So I
Because
miss my
like
neighborhood.
you come back on the second home, the third home, or whatever you call, you feel like so comfortable around there, right?
Yeah,
I
well,
miss Bangkok too.
yeah, Bangkok is one of my homes, I would say. I mean, I feel like I've spent so much time there now. It just really, and it's welcoming. And that's the thing I think is wonderful about Thailand in general, is I have always felt welcome in Thailand. I have never felt threatened. No matter where I've been,
Yes.
I've traveled by myself a lot in Thailand, and I have never felt in any way uncomfortable everywhere I've gone. I've always felt like people were very accepting of foreigners. I mean, is Thai culture just generally like that, or have I been lucky?
I think like one thing that I love about Thai culture, we very welcoming people, and we love feeding people. Like one question is very old style of asking. Like if we meet somebody, we not asking how are you, but we asking like, are you have breakfast yet? You have lunch yet? You have dinner yet? That is our culture, because if you don't have it yet, we will feed you like that. And like when you're walking on the street, the seller just like eat, try. Like you can try everything, because they just love to feed you. Even the man, like the tuk-tuk driver, and if they eat something, and if we ask them, what are you eating? They will let us try it. That is very warm culture that I like about Thailand. We sharing things. Like it makes the people very like open mind, generous, just to sharing things. It's not all for myself. When I buy things, like if you remember, I'm not buy only one for myself, but I just buy more than for myself, and then somebody else asking, they can try it too, like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and
that
I
is
love that
the
about the
culture.
culture. It's a really sharing culture. I think that that's really true. I mean, people that have nothing would share what they have. I mean, if somebody had just a bowl of rice, they would split it with you if you asked them. I think that's really
Yeah,
my experience as well. And one of my strongest memories of my first trip to Thailand, I took a local tour. I think I've told you about this before. I took a day tour through the hotel. Actually, our hotel in Bangkok arranged a local guide to
yeah,
come and take me out to see some things I wanted to see. And I remember this guy talking about a painting, and it showed all the different levels of society, like kings, rich people, average people, poor people. And he starts explaining it, and he goes, rich people. Now, rich people, that's you. And I'm like, have you seen my bank
yeah,
account? Like, I would not consider, I don't consider myself a rich person, like not even close. But he's like, no, you may not think of yourself as a rich person, but here in Thailand, most of us
yes,
have nothing. Like an average
yeah,
person in Thailand has a lot less than you do. And you need to realize when you come to visit us that you're
yes,
coming as a rich person, and you should really appreciate everything you have. But the flip side on what he had to say, which was so interesting to me, was we don't need all that, though. We
I
don't
think
own
like it's more, it's like 70% or 60% of people could not afford to have a holiday outside our own country. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't see people in Thailand like I don't think they envy people with money. I don't get the sense of that. I get the sense in Thailand that people are just pretty good with who they are and what they are and what they've been given. I mean, just like you said at the very beginning, you have your coffee and you're healthy and it's good. It's all good, And I just feel like that it's all good could just kind of be instead of the land of a thousand smiles, it should just be it's all good.
Yeah. I think like it's like the Buddhism teaching, like Buddhist teaching. We have to stay with present moment and we have to accept what we got. Like we have to be happy what we have right now. If you, in the worst case, like you have nothing, but you still have your life, you still can breathe things. Like you still have air in your lungs. You can inhale and exhale. That is the very good luck of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the best way to look at things, especially right now. It's like we may feel like we've lost everything, but on the other hand, yeah, we have our coffee, we have our families, we breathe every day. So I
Yeah.
think that is why I keep coming back to Thailand over and over again. I love the sights, I love the beach. Obviously, you know how I feel about the beach and the turquoise waters, and I love the culture and the food. But above all, I would say what I really appreciate about Thailand is how calm I feel when I'm there. I just feel like the culture is very soothing somehow. Everybody's really pleasant. It's just pleasant. Like there's nothing about Thailand that I find unpleasant. I mean, really. The heat
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. I think if they come to Thailand for the first Asian country, they can open mind for anywhere else in Asia, in the world probably. Like it's open eye trip probably you can go for Asia.
Yeah, that's
And
really
if they are come on the first tour of you in 2022, they will be so lucky because I will be so nice, so calm, peaceful, and I'm not gonna be grumpy. I'm gonna do whatever people ask for me because I lost my job for so long. I do whatever people ask for me. You can ask me the same question 1,000 times. I still smile.
yeah, it's funny because I think about like all the times you and I have just been like, oh my gosh, can you believe this thing happened, or we have to do this thing now? And I'm thinking I would do any of those things practically for free now. We're going to be extra super nice because it'll be our first tour together in 2 years. So if you want to travel with us next year, we promise we're going to be really nice.
Yes, I promise I will be the nicest tour guide that I ever been for my whole life on that trip, my first trip.
Yes, I think that that's probably going to be true once we get back to our work. Well, my friend, it has been a wonderful hour chatting with you, and I hope the people watching have enjoyed our conversation. If you have any questions for A or anything you'd like us to talk about Thailand this week, please be sure to comment in the comments on this video. And we're going to be joined by her again tomorrow and then again on Thursday. So we really appreciate you joining us. Just a little thought if you're watching right now and you are interested because A, like me, is an unemployed tour guide. This week, all of this stuff she's doing for us, this interview, the cooking class, and the walking tour she's doing just voluntarily. So if you are interested in leaving her a tip, you can send a tip to my PayPal, which is, you can find that on my website, and I'll put a link on there as well. And then any money that you guys want to send as a tip to her, I will forward to her in Thailand. So I thank you ahead of time. And also, before we go, the last thing I wanted to teach people is about this, which I love so much. Everywhere that we go in Thailand, we do this. We put our hands together, and it's a greeting, and it's a saying goodbye. Could
Thank
you tell us
you.
about this? Why do people do this?
This one is like the way to respect and the way to greeting, hand between your chest and bouncing, and to be calm, polite, sweet, and be, respectful like that. So we can say thank you. It's called ขอบคุณค่ะ
Kapkum
ขอบ
ka.
คุณค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ You said it very well.
This ain't my first rodeo, girlfriend. Kapkum ka.
ขอบคุณค่ะ I will see you tomorrow for my cooking lesson.
Fantastic. All right,
Red
everybody. So
red curry pineapple chicken.
red curry and
Yeah.
pineapple. So if you want to cook along with us, I will go ahead and post the list of ingredients that A has put up. We're going to meet again at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So it's a pineapple curry with whatever kind of meat you want, and then a banana pudding for dessert. So we will see you at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks again so much for joining me, A. It's always a pleasure to see you, girlfriend. Mwah, love you, and I'll see you
Bye
soon.
bye. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
สวัส
Yay!
ดีค่ะ
Kapkum ka.